The Trump administration's deportation efforts have taken a dramatic turn with the arrest of a Milwaukee County judge. The FBI apprehended Judge Hannah Duggan, accusing her of helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest in her courtroom. This development has sparked controversy and raised questions about the role of judges in immigration enforcement. Critics argue that the administration's efforts to pressure officials into assisting with deportations are an overreach of power. With tensions running high, the situation demands careful consideration and a nuanced understanding of the complex issues at play. The arrest of Judge Duggan has ignited a heated debate, and it remains to be seen how this case will ultimately be resolved. The arrest of Judge Hannah Duggan by the FBI has sent shockwaves through the judicial community. According to reports, Duggan was taken into custody after being accused of obstructing federal agents who were attempting to arrest an immigrant in her courtroom. The incident has raised questions about the extent of a judge's authority and the limits of their power in such situations. Details of the arrest are still emerging, but it's clear that the incident has sparked a heated debate about immigration enforcement and the role of judges. Duggan's actions, as alleged by the FBI, have been characterized as a deliberate attempt to interfere with federal authorities. The judge's supporters, however, argue that she was simply doing her job and upholding the law. The outcome could have significant implications for the relationship between the judiciary and law enforcement, particularly in cases involving immigration. Judge Hannah Duggan faces charges, including obstruction of justice, for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest. The indictment claims that Duggan knowingly interfered with federal agents' efforts to apprehend Eduardo Flores Ruiz, who was in her courtroom facing misdemeanor domestic violence charges. The charges against Duggan are significant, carrying a potential penalty of up to 6 years in prison if convicted. Critics argue that the Trump administration's effort to pressure officials to assist is seen as a major escalation in this effort, targeting millions of undocumented immigrants. The implications of this case could be far-reaching, affecting not only the judge, but also the broader judicial system as the case unfolds. Many are watching closely to see how it will impact the relationship between law enforcement and the judiciary. The outcome could have significant consequences for undocumented immigrants and the officials who interact with them. Duggan was visibly upset and had a confrontational, angry demeanor when she confronted the agents. She allegedly told them to go see the chief judge of the courthouse and then escorted Flores Ruiz and his counsel out of the courtroom through a jury door. Flores Ruiz was later arrested near the courthouse. The indictment alleges that Duggan's actions were an attempt to obstruct justice and interfere with the federal agent's duties. The details of the incident have sparked intense debate, and the judge's actions will be scrutinized closely by the court. The prosecution's stance is clear. Judge Duggan's actions were unlawful and will not be tolerated. The FBI statement emphasizes that no one is above the law, not even a judge. The prosecution will likely argue that Duggan's actions were a deliberate attempt to undermine the authority of federal agents. The judge's defense team, on the other hand, will likely argue that she was simply doing her job and upholding the law. The judge's supporters argue that she was acting in good faith, while her critics see her actions as a clear obstruction of justice. Judge Duggan's defense team has vowed to fight the charges, arguing that she was acting within her authority as a judge. They claim that the prosecution's case is flawed and that Duggan's actions were lawful. The defense will likely argue that the judge was simply trying to protect the rights of all individuals in her courtroom. The case will hinge on the interpretation of Duggan's actions and whether they constituted obstruction of justice. The arrest of Judge Duggan has sparked a heated debate in the community. Some have expressed outrage at the judge's alleged actions, while others have defended her as a champion of justice. The case has also raised questions about the role of judges in immigration enforcement and the limits of their power. As the case unfolds, public opinion will likely continue to shape the narrative. The judge's supporters argue that she was acting in good faith, while her critics see her actions as a clear obstruction of justice. Judge Duggan's defense team has vowed to fight the charges, arguing that she was acting within her authority as a judge. They claim that the prosecution's case is flawed and that Duggan's actions were lawful. The defense will likely argue that the judge was simply trying to protect the rights of all individuals in her courtroom. The outcome will have significant implications for the judiciary and immigration enforcement. Thanks for staying up till this time. See you in the next update.